video we covered how to create a table in Google Data Studio. Now we're going to add a pivot table to that. So if we're in our report, this is how a generic table would look like in Google Data Studio. But you might want to have a pivot table, which means that instead of having one vertical dimension, you want to have a vertical and horizontal dimension. So to give you an example, we might want to map page titles across countries by user. So to add a pivot table, we can either go into the drop-down and scroll all the way down to pivot tables, or we can just click the existing table and then hit the icon here at the top and then change this to pivot table. So in this case, it will automatically select country as the custom column dimension. So the column dimension will be country. If you want to change this to something else, you can just pick anything from the dimensions and see if it works. So in this case, we then can see what pages were visited by how many users from what country. So in this case, there were the homepage, there were 12,000 users from the United States, 1,400 from India, 1,100 from Canada. And this is quite a nice drop down if you have like two main dimensions that you want to cross-check against each other. It's a pretty cool and quick visualization to do that, which you wouldn't be able to do in Google Analytics itself. If you then want to add a date range, I would just add a date range controller so that we can say, okay, we just want to have last week's data. So to see that, we can just hit view and then say last 7 days. So that will then filter both dimensions down to those last 7 days, and that way we can see what users from what country visited what pages. So this is how you can create pivot tables. If you have any questions on that, happy to help you out. Just leave a question, and otherwise I'll see you in the next video.